Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is the questing beast himself. It's Frank. How are you today?
I am on a very important quest, and I need you to help me along the way.
I would be happy to help you along the way through your trials and challenges, my friend.
Thank you.
But before we begin our quest, what are you drinking?
I am polishing off the last of my Christmas stash, the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. One last time, farewell for this year to a beloved classic.
One last time.
Mm-hmm.
I am also drinking a classic, as it were. I am drinking an old speckled hen.
Ah, yes.
Yes, very good. It is a distinctive English pale ale, smooth and refreshing, imported from the UK, from the Artistry in Brewing Moreland Artistry in Brewing. It's a twin hop, 4-hop brew, creating beers of distinction. It owes its name not to a bird, but to a car. A paint-spattered featherweight fabric saloon, the MG Factory Runaround, fondly referred to as the owled speckled un, thanks to its mottled appearance. Our famous beer, with its distinctive and delicious toffee malt character, was first brewed in 1979 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the iconic MG Factory. I had no idea that.
Interesting. That is so interesting. I had the impression it was much older than that.
I did too, with a name like that, but
right.
The UK, so
true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But fascinating story.
Did not know it was named after a car. It's quite good.
Yeah.
I've had this before.
Yes, yeah.
It. It's like the king of beers,
Yeah, and is that meant to be served like warm or like room temp?
That's a
cask temperature.
That is a cask. Enjoy cold.
Oh, cold.
Right
okay.
on the back.
Okay, there you go. Right on.
Which I am enjoying it cold.
Good, and you are enjoying it. I take it.
I am indeed. I like my beer cold. I don't really like it warm. I don't like it room temperature.
No, me neither. I mean, there are
drink it like that.
Yeah, well, the beers that are meant to be, right? Like English ales that are like meant to be had that way, served that way. I will, but yeah, otherwise the colder the better. For
Can
me,
a beer get too cold for you?
Well, yes. Okay. There is a point. It can get too cold. If you can't taste it anymore,
right.
like
it's cold,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a sweet spot. And it's hard to. I think it's hard to hit that point of too cold, though. I think in most scenarios, you're not going to hit it unless it's literally coming out of a freezer.
Right. Elizabeth Proctor, your beer.
Yes.
But
if we're talking about like at a party or at a bar or at a restaurant, like I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
So in those scenarios, like as cold as you can give it to me, because you're not going to get it too cold in those scenarios. Right. You know what I mean?
I absolutely no. Yep. I'm totally with you. I feel like I need to explain my Elizabeth Proctor joke.
I got it, but yeah,
I know you did.
Yeah,
I know you did. That's why
I lived it.
Yeah. In the show The Crucible, the play The Crucible, Elizabeth Proctor's husband, John Proctor, cheated on her, and she's been very cold to John ever since, to her husband, and he at one point says to her, "Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer." And I love that, because
great line.
It's so hard to freeze beer. You can make it really cold and tasteless, but you can't really freeze it. An amazing line. So good.
Yeah, great one. Oh, Arthur Miller.
The best. The best. Unless we hate him now. It's hard to say when
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we do.
Pretty sure we don't.
No, I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
Not to my knowledge. Hey, jokes aside, we have some very important ground to cover today.
Indeed.
We're going on a journey.
A journey.
We're taking you all on a journey with us.
A journey that will change you. When you return, you will not be the same. Indeed. Frank,
The wizard speaks the truth.
Indeed. I would like to point you to the game. Is it a quest, and what did they discover? Still working on that title. But our quest will be to come up with a better title.
Professor Quest's Corner. I don't know.
So anyway, so there are 5 categories. There is the quester, place to go, the stated reason to go there, the trials and challenges along the way, and the real reason to go on the quest, meaning what did they discover about themselves along the way? Usually it's the friends they made.
Very often.
And so that to pinpoint in our beloved stories that we love to talk about here on Beer with Geeks and usually other Thought Bubble audio programs, what is the actual quest? Because every character is always on a quest. They're always out to discover something or get something or some MacGuffin or whatever. And so, but usually the real reason that characters go on quests is that they learn something about themselves by the end. Whether they actually got a thing or didn't get a thing is inconsequential.
Right. Yeah. Whether or not they succeed in attaining what they first set out to get.
Exactly.
Doesn't necessarily mean it was success or not. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a story, and we can go back and forth if you have some for me.
Yeah, I do.
You gotta tell me what the quester is, the place to go, the stated reason, the trials and challenges along the way, and the real reason they go on the quest. Let's start with our all-time favorite, always, Star Wars.
That's the one to go to, right?
Right, of course. Let's just do A New Hope, because
that's good. Yes. Yeah. You got to put some limits on it, right?
You have to limit Star Wars. You can't be like, well, what's Luke's quest? Well, that depends on what age he is and how far we're going into the future here. So let's just do A New Hope.
Interesting that you assume that Luke is the quester of A New Hope, because I think it's clear. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's obviously.
You could say it's R2D2 if you really want.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, an argument could be made. Yes, an argument could be made for R2D2. Yes.
Yeah,
or 3PO. Or the two of them. Yeah.
Well, technically, so and that's the thing with this kind of format. Is like there are a lot of quests.
That's true.
Happening within the story. Han Solo's on a quest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rey is on a quest. Yeah. But what really Ben's on a quest, right? What it's going to boil down to in this category is, do they have a moment of self-discovery? And if they don't, they really weren't the quester. R2 doesn't have a moment of self-discovery that we know of, so even 3PO doesn't really have a moment of self-discovery. Arguably, Leia doesn't have a moment of self-discovery either.
Yeah, that's true.
I would argue
she doesn't really.
Further that Obi-Wan doesn't have a moment of self-discovery.
No, he doesn't. No,
he basically knows he's going to die, like going on this mission.
I think he figures it out when I think that realization crosses his mind when he sees that, and that's no moon, that's a space station.
And he's like,
I think up until then, he didn't intend to die.
Alderaan, that's true. Yeah, it's when Alderaan was destroyed. He's like, well, I'm out.
Yep. Like, I am not getting out of this one alive.
Okay, so let's do then 2. Let's just do Luke and then Han, because Han has the more obvious moment of self-discovery, I'd say. He does. So Han's the quester. What is his place to go?
His place to go is, I don't know if it's a physical destination. So like I might bend the definition of place to go, because his destination or his goal is to get rich, like is to get a good payday and
I don't know. I wouldn't call it to get rich. It's to pay off Jabba the Hutt.
Well, I was gonna say to get out of debt with Jabba, but beyond that, he wants I don't know, I can imagine quite a bit. Like he does want like to not just get out of debt, but like to like make it big, right? And it actually does kind of, not that we're not that I would draw upon Solo, if we're just looking at this one movie, but really when I think about it, it actually does kind of jive with Solo and him wanting to like get out of his sort of street rat origins and strive for something better.
Right. Okay. So Quester's Han, his place to go is to
wealth.
Well, that's his stated reason. So like,
okay, yeah, you know what? Yes.
So like, yeah, the place to go is most of the time a really physical place. So like, in this case, you could say his place to go is Alderaan.
Yes, I mean,
it gets destroyed, but but the whole reason he accepts this thing is to go to Alderaan of the Hutt.
Yes.
And then take the extra stuff along the way. Like that's the stuff that comes along as the Falcon Flies, as they say.
Yes.
And so Jabba the Hutt stated reason is to get rich / pay off Jabba the Hutt.
Right. Yeah.
Easy one, trials along the way. What are some of the trials that Han goes through?
Tractor beam.
Tractor beam, Star Destroyers, fighters, Stormtroopers, trash compactor, so on and so on.
Yes, Dianoga.
Right. Yeah. Garbage masher. I guess we talked about that for a long time ago now. I feel like, but it's actually a garbage masher.
It is,
according to the movie. And what is his self-discovery?
That there was more to him than money.
Right. Actually, I always knew there was more to you than money, and so did he. All right. So that's Hans.
That's Han. Luke. Yeah. So his place to go is Alderaan, literally.
Yep.
But really, it's anywhere that's off this planet.
Correct. It doesn't have to be Alderaan. Like,
it could have been anywhere.
Wants to go somewhere that's not Tatooine.
If it was Mustafar, he'd be like, I hear it's lovely this time of year. Get me out of here. So that's the place to go. Stated reason to go is to save the princess, help the princess.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's only with Ben encouraging him, right? Like, you must come to me with Alderaan. Come with me to Alderaan.
Alderaan, I can't go to Alderaan. Yeah.
Right.
I got chores.
Yeah.
Trials along the way. Chores.
Tractor beam chores. Garbage masher.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
A lot of the same ones, yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Everson, like
yes. Oh yes.
Whatever. It's all the same. Being too short for a stormtrooper, like whatever. Communication issues. That's one of Hans. So what is his real reason to go on this adventure? It's not to save Leia. It's not to go to Alderaan. It's not to
learn the ways of the Force.
Right. Yeah. Because that's I can't remember where this comes from. This is not mine. But the climax of Star Wars is the Death Star, right? And whether like they'll be able to blow up the Death Star or not. But the drama, the conflict in that moment doesn't actually come from whether Luke is or is not going to blow up the Death Star. Right, because he tells us he can earlier in the movie, right? He says like, I shoot Womp Rats that are no bigger than 2 meters back home, like blah blah. Like, so we know he can do it. In that scene, he's like, I'm actually okay. Like, you're all freaking out, but I'm telling you it's possible.
I'm all right.
Right. So the drama is actually whether he's going to trust the Force or not. Because I want to go with you to become, like that could also his stated reason could also be, I want to come to Alderaan to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
Yes.
That's actually, in a lot of ways his stated reason, and his self-discovery is how to trust the Force, because only then does he actually blow up. That's right.
So. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And think even about the way that they create tension in that trench run scene, right? Like the thing that is creating visual tension for us is that computer and him getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
And it's not until he switches off the targeting computer, right? Like that it's like, then he's okay.
Good point. I've never thought about that thing as
that's like the countdown. that is ratcheting up the tension as it gets like, oh, we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And like the visuals and also the audio, you hear the pitch going up, right? And so you know, like that's the countdown. As you getting closer, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. Yeah.
Great movie. 10 out of 10.
Great movie. Oh, yes. Gosh.
Do you have a movie?
Gosh, yes. Yes. I've got several. I went with some different places like Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay, so Scott Pilgrim's the quester.
Mm-hmm.
His place to go is the various points of the 7 evil X's.
Mm-hmm.
His stated reason is to defeat them so Ramona can be his girlfriend.
Yes.
Trials he faces along the way.
7 evil X's.
Yeah.
Aforementioned X's.
His not girlfriend, Knives Chow.
17 years old.
17 years old. I would say Ramona's wishy-washiness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is its own challenge, but all leading to the real reason to go there, Scott's crippling self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And he learns how to conquer himself and his own fears. And so it's not really about defeating the 7 evil X's. It's about defeating his own anxiety about himself and his own feelings of worthlessness, which is coupled in the mirroring of Ramona feeling like she's worthless because of my God, what's his name?
This the last X.
The last X. Yeah. The one that organizes the whole thing. Right. The abusive one.
Yes.
But it's all like Scott's self-abuse versus, her external abuse. And that's why. And so like in him seeing that and able to defeat hers allows him to, defeat himself and get French toast with him later.
Yes.
Nega
of course.
Scott.
Nega Scott.
Right. The inverse of himself. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Good.
I thought that'd be a good one. Turned around and looked at my comic shelf for that one. Yeah, I agree with you on all of those.
Yeah, that's the movie that because I know the book ends differently, but it's been so long since I've read it.
I'm just trying to remember the name of that last Evil X, and I didn't want to use a lookup, so I figured if I flip through the book, that's a lookup.
It's not an internet lookup, it's a book lookup. So it's different.
We don't have any rules about that, so I just found a loophole.
Gideon.
Yep, that's it. People
watching on YouTube will know that I did not look that up.
Yes.
I would like to point that out.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
All
right. So that's Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
What's another one? Throw another one at us.
Very recent. Wicked.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Actually, guy in the comments is like, the novel is from 30 years ago.
It's from 1996 and I read it. So hush up, everybody. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, the quester. I'm having seen the movie, right? And we talked about Wicked, and that's a. I haven't seen like the show, so if I'm not describing the way the show is or whatever,
sure. This is just the movie, just technically
just the movie.
One of the movie.
Right.
It is
just part one.
A complete quest in of itself.
Yes. So Elphaba's the quester.
Yep.
Her place to go is Emerald City.
Yep. Oz. Yeah.
The
wizard. Right.
Stated reason to go is to see the wizard. She got the letter.
Not just to see the wizard. What does she want the wizard to do?
To degreenify you.
To degreenify you, right? She has a whole song about it.
Mm-hmm.
She has several songs, technically.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Her
that's right. Yeah.
Desires, but
actually, to be really, she implies that it's not important to her that he degreenify her.
Correct.
It's important to everybody else.
Not important to me.
To me,
yeah, right. I'll reply. Yeah, but is it actually important to her? Like the way that it's phrased is like she wants it, but she doesn't want it at the same time. Like her conflict, the duality is that she likes her uniqueness, but she also loathes it at the same time.
Yeah,
it's part of her identity to be an outsider.
Yeah,
and the green skin makes her an outsider, but then. Yeah. Anyway, we could be here for a long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yes, agreed to all of that. Then trials and challenges.
Glinda, in her own way.
Sure, yep. Glinda. Yes, Morrible, the Wizard,
Mhm.
Society,
Flying Monkeys, like
Prejudice.
her father,
Her. What was like
classmates, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you anything without really getting
I
into
understand.
that part two. So
I'm just like I hate her dad so much.
Yeah.
Um.
So then what is her self-discovery? Animals disappearing, right? That's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what is her self-discovery? What is the real reason she actually has to go see the wizard? It's not dissimilar to Dorothy, who also has to go see the wizard.
Yeah. But it's in her case, it's not to go home.
No,
as much as it is to.
But Dorothy's intent. If we did the wizard, hold still with the real self-discovery here, because let's do the Wizard of Oz. I want to.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Quester, Dorothy, place to go, Oz. Stated reason to go there to see the wizard. So he will send her home.
Sure.
Trials, the Wicked Witch.
Yep.
Apples, trees that throw apples,
etc. Yes.
Flying monkeys, whatever.
Right.
That
poppy
seeds.
Mustache.
Poppy seeds. Right. And so, her real reason to go is not to see the wizard or to go home, because she wants to go home to see Auntie M. Right.
Yes.
My aunt is worried about me, but Dorothy ran away. She freaking doesn't want to go home. She's worried about how her aunt feels. So she wants to actually go home because there's no place like home. Right. It's like but her self-discovery is that she could have gotten there the whole time. She had that power. She had the slippers. Right. It's like, well, why didn't you just tell me? And Glinda says, you wouldn't have believed me. You had to discover the power inside yourself.
Yes.
For yourself. And that's the same as Elphaba's self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks the wizard is going to do this thing for her, is going to make her like everybody else, or give her the goods or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually already has all of that inside of herself. And that's what Defying Gravity is all about, right?
Yes.
And so their quest to see the wizard is actually the same thing.
Yeah.
It leads to the same.
It is.
Discovery.
You're so right.
Inside yourself.
You're so right. It totally is. That's so cool. That is so cool. The parallels there are amazing. That's awesome.
It's so good.
Somebody should pay you to do that. People should pay you to do what you just did.
To do this?
Yeah,
I should. Yeah.
You should make a career of that.
Yeah.
I know.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Womp womp.
But I do get paid to do this. Yeah.
America 2025.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I can throw another one. Another one at you. Wicked Wizard. That was a good one. And the Wizard of Oz bonus there for free. You know, don't say we don't give you value, folks.
It's free for free, everyone.
It's free for free, and that you can rely on. Captain America: The First Avenger.
Oh my God, this was on my list too.
No way!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yes, that's so good.
Wow.
Very good. I love that. Out of all the MCU movies,
I know,
we could have chosen. It's a good quest.
It's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about a quest in the MCU. It's the most questy of them. Like
apart, Cap and Iron Man 1, and actually that first phase is really questy.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, Thor, yes. Iron Man, I feel less strongly about that.
We'll do Iron Man after this.
All right, that sounds good. Let's do Cap. Yeah.
So Steve Rogers is the quester.
Yes.
His place to go is to join the army.
Yes.
His stated reason to go there is to because he doesn't like bullies.
Yes.
To fight Nazis.
Mm-hmm. To stand up against
bullies. Yeah, because he doesn't like bullies. Trials and challenges along the way. Bullies. Nazis. Pretty women.
Yes.
Knocking
show business
Hitler over politics, knocking off Adolf Hitler over 200 times.
Yes.
Like whatever. What is Steve's self-discovery? Because he's almost fully formed. Like he's the part of the charm of Steve is that at 80 pounds, he's internally just as good
Yeah.
all the way through. But he does have a but he does have a self-discovery moment.
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. Do you like what
The
was
moment?
yours?
Okay, I wasn't thinking of what the self-discovery moment is.
What is his self-discovery? Yeah.
What he discovers about himself, I think, is that he feels like he's the runt, he's the scrawny guy, and he's not able to stand up to the bullies and whatnot, right? But I think what he discovers is that like it's what was in here inside that was like what made him a hero, able to stand up against the bully. It's that. It's not the physical strength. Once he got the physical strength,
right,
he realized that he had what it took the whole time.
Because it's not even the discovery that like he's going to be the guy that throws himself on the grenade. He knows he's that guy already. He does it in training, and then he crashes the ship to save New York.
Yep,
that's the same moment.
The same thing.
He's already the guy that's going to do that.
Yep.
But he says to Red Skull, he says, "What makes you so special? Nothing. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn."
Yeah.
That's it. Like
that's good. That is good. Yes.
That's his real self-discovery, is that not that he thought he was special, but he does go through this small little arc where all of a sudden, he is Captain America, right? It's like with the pretty lady and, like being on stage and like trying to prove himself and all this, like trying to prove himself because he's bigger and a super soldier now. Ends up equaling out that he remembers that he's just like as the good doctor does, good man, a lot of accents in
yes there are yeah
in Captain America. So that's it. It's that you're a good man, but really you're still just a kid from Brooklyn. But that's his greatest strength, because he's still just a kid from Brooklyn.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. I'm going to do Thor and Iron Man while we're doing this. Let's do phase one. Thor's is really obvious. Quester's Thor. His place to go is back to Asgard.
Yes.
His stated reason to go back to Asgard is to be king.
Yes.
Trials along the way, loses his powers, can't pick up Mjolnir, Loki, the Destroyer, so on. Whatever. So
distracted by Jane Foster, all these
on the wonderful challenges along the way.
Yes.
Can't get a horse at a pet store. His self-discovery is his innate selflessness, his innate goodness, right? Because he has to sacrifice himself in order to, because Thor's not good at sacrificing himself, because he thinks he's going to win every time. He's so full of himself, that no matter what he's doing, he only thinks about himself. And it actually his self-discovery is that to be a great hero, to be a great king, to be a great anything, it has to be about everybody else and not you.
Right.
And that's his self-discovery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of my favorite. That it really is one of my favorite arcs.
It's a great one.
Character arcs in the MCU. Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, even through all the other movies, it's really consistent. Even if he falters a little bit, like it's like when he falters, it really hurts.
Yeah.
So it's good. But Iron Man is the classic. Tony is the quester. His place to go is back to Malibu.
Sure. Yes.
Stated reason, because he lives there, needs to escape the cave that he's in, right? Entrenched in whatever else. But his trial and challenge is obviously terrorist group, broken heart, all these like things, like blah, 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 Jensen dying, so on and so on and so on and so on. Obadiah Stane taking over the company.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. His self-discovery is, as Pepper very clearly states and puts in a little glass box for him, proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
Sure.
Right. That is his self-discovery, that he actually does care.
Yes.
That about the world around him, and not for himself, but for other people. Right. Because he's cleaning up the mess that he created.
Yes.
So in some ways, even when he dons Iron Man outfit for the first time, it's still about him.
Yep.
It's not really about other people fully yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. And arguably, it continues to be a lot about him for many.
Character that falters more than others.
Yeah, sure. And that's his lovable quirk, right? Because like ultimately, obviously, like he sacrifices himself for the multiverse. So like,
which is why it's one of the better sacrificial deaths out there.
Yes,
because like you've watched this guy for basically 10 years make decisions that do help other people, but mostly help himself.
Yes,
even though he's not even thinking about them that way.
Yes,
he's so narcissistic he can't even not think about it that way.
He's doing the right things for his own reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for him to finally get to this place where he's actually just doing the right thing for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Nice. That's solid.
Yeah. I want to do one more.
Yeah. Hit me.
Well, I got a couple in here, but I think we can do that. We could do this forever. So
let's do another. Let's save some of these and do another, right? Like, this is fun.
I want to do one more.
Hit me with one more.
I want to do Smallville.
Yeah, I had that on my list too.
It's 10. Great. I do. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's 10 seasons.
Yeah.
You have to just all his trials and challenges.
It's a long list. It's about 200.
Right. He's got a quest basically in every single episode.
Yes.
Or at least some character has one in every episode.
Yes. So, and in fact, that's why I didn't bring it up already. Is I was like, oh my God, there's the one quest, but then there's 217 quests or however many. I think it's 217.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So go ahead, try it out. If it's the whole 10 seasons from Crash Landing in Smallville, Meteor Day, all the way to ripping his shirt open in the last shot of the show, what is the quest?
All right. So obviously the quester is Chloe Sullivan. So Clark
jail. No, just
Clark's place to go is Metropolis. But again, like similar to say Luke, it's like outside of Smallville. It's like the world. Really in Clark's case, right? It's to help the world. But in the very literal sense, his place to go is Metropolis. Stated reason to go. Stated reason. Does he even state a reason?
I'm sure at some point he does, in that it's like he wants to go to find his own identity, to not just be the farm boy, to
be first on the scene and be able to help, right? Like being a reporter, like there are several reasons, like several stated reasons, but I guess
when he's on the water tower with Lana and they're looking out and they can see the Metropolis skyline.
Yep.
Why do they want to go to Metropolis? Do you remember?
Specifically in that conversation? No, that's season 1, I think.
Yeah, but that's it. That would be like a good starting point to say, that's really why. Because I mean, it does kind of shift, and then he does go to Metropolis, right? Eventually, he gets to the point where he's really not on the farm anymore. Right, he's in Metropolis. Trials and Challenges, Meteor Freaks, Lex, Lionel, Zod, Brainiac, whatever. Kryptonite, Doomsday, whatever. You just throw all the stuff in there. What is Clark's flight? Yeah. All the powers, hormones, whatever. What is Alicia? Was she a challenge, really?
2 times.
Yeah.
She was a trial.
She was a trial, not a challenge. Yeah. What is his self-discovery? What does Clark discover about himself?
Well, Clark discovers about himself is that it is that always hold on to Smallville is what he discovers about himself.
That's it. Boom. That's amazing. Yep, that's right. Very good. Because he wants to go to Metropolis. He wants to help people, right? But he wants to get out of Smallville, basically, right? Like he tries to go to college outside of Smallville.
Yeah.
Or like, he just or outside of Kansas. Like he just keeps wanting to do something bigger and better for himself. Right. But but going back to that thing that the ghost of Jonathan says to him, right? that.
Always hold on to Smallville.
Always hold on to Smallville.
It's and like Jor-El says it to him too. Like the experiences that you had in Smallville are like what shaped you and made you who you are. Like take that with you, hold on to that stuff with you, and like let it guide you. I'm paraphrasing what Jor-El says, and basically Jonathan tells him the same thing in so many words, right?
Yep. Boom. That's
it.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nailed it.
I almost wore my Smallville sweatshirt tonight. I wish I hadn't thought about it, but it'd be like have it like right there.
Like,
like what's the real self-discovery here?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. I don't know if I would have thought of that, truthfully. 10 out of 10 for you. That was really good.
Oh man.
All right,
let's watch it. Let's just sit here and watch 10 seasons of Smallville right now, folks.
Let's do it. Okay. Somebody save me. Okay, we did it, everybody. Yeah.
Done.
All right. Frank, where can the people find us?
Head on over to beerwithgeeks.com and you can find links there to rate and review the show, any podcast app that you like. You can subscribe and follow us. You can watch this on YouTube nowadays. You can email us at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. And if you want to really help us out, patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio is how you can kick us a few bucks and help us to pay the costs of making such a show.
Indeed. Frank, it was great to speak with you, to quest with you in this way. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.